you're like me, you go to your local nursery or garden center and you grab a plant and you make your way over to the checkout stand, you buy it, and now you're gone home with a living plant that you're responsible for. Amazing. But what if I told you that there is a way to have a whole new world opened up to you with ordering plants online, delivered right to your door? I'm Cameron. Welcome back to the Busy Gardener channel. Ordering online, especially when you're ordering something that you want to remain alive, can feel really scary. I've had a couple of experiences with it, and in this video, I want to walk through some of the pros and cons of online ordering, as well as some things to keep in mind. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share some details of my most recent order. Let's get busy. And before the video goes on any further, why don't you let me know any successes or failures you've had when it comes to online plants? And before we jump into some of the pros and cons of buying plants online, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Now would be a great time to hit the like button. And if you haven't already looked into membership for the Busy Gardener channel, hit the join button below. There might be some perks that work really well for you. Okay, let's talk some pros and cons of buying your plants from a nursery. The first pro is the instant gratification. You know, I love being able to walk by and see a plant and go, oh, I want that. I mean, I was only here at the big box store to buy a drill bit, but now I need this plant. And so then I walk out with a plant. So there's the ability to grab something and take it straight home with you. The second pro for buying at your local nursery is that the plant is likely adapted for your particular area. If you've got a nursery that's down the street, chances are that they're ordering plants that are going to do well in your immediate area and not going to be like ordering an orange tree for the middle of Alaska or a cherry tree for Florida. They're going to get things that work in your climate. So you're pretty much going to be bulletproof if you buy at a local nursery in that respect. Third thing that's great about a local nursery and buying at a local nursery is that you get to choose the plant. So you walk up, you see this plant, and you are buying this particular plant in this pot with these leaves, and you get to walk away with one that's going to work best for your setup. For me, I do backyard orchard culture, and so for me it's important to have branching that's lower because I want all that scaffolding to come up really low, and that's great when you've got 6 different plants to choose from and you choose the one that's going to work best for you. Local nursery is great because it's a community presence. You can develop a relationship there. There are real live people that you can ask questions and who are versed in what's going on with those specific plants. So I like local nurseries. There are some cons when it comes to buying from a local nursery, however. First of which is you are limited to the stock that they have on hand. And so if you go to your local nursery and these are the 3 plants that they have, and then this is all that you're able to buy, and it's like, well, what if I already have a Namwa banana and I want a Cavendish or an ice cream banana? You're going to be out of luck at that local nursery. They only have so much space to work with, and so they're going to only be able to carry so many things. And so that's a downside, is they won't always have the thing that you want. Another con with the local nursery is that they often won't carry hard to find varieties. And that makes sense. They're dealing in a local context where they want people to have this familiarity, and so they're going to have things that they know that people are going to buy, that people are familiar with. But they might not have those kind of offbeat cultivars or even offbeat types of fruit. I've been seeing some of these local nursery centers have more variety, but they're still limited by space, and they're going to stick with those that they know are going to sell. They don't want those plants to be sitting around. A third con is the hunt. Sometimes having to drive around to try to find that specific cultivar or type of fruit that you're looking for. I mean, I've got really specific preferences because I'm wanting to choose a type of fruit that's going to fit into a successive ripening or as a pollinator for specific things. So I can't just get any plum. I need to get one that's going to pollinate my pluots. And sometimes that means driving around a bunch. So that can be alleviated oftentimes by calling and asking if they've got something in stock, but you're still driving to that location. So maybe you like that. I sometimes like it, but sometimes I don't have the time to do that. I just want it at my house. So all in all, buying plants from a local nursery feels very familiar, but there are some downsides, and it's not your only option. Let's talk about online ordering. As the internet gets better and better about delivering things right to your door, that benefit has extended onto live plants. And so where a local nursery has some limitations in terms of what they're able to offer, they're going to offer those things that are tried and true, that they know that their local community is going to buy, that people come and it's just surefire because they want the plants from this year to sell, so that way they can make room for the plants for next year. And so they're not going to get really weird and wacky. They're going to order things that they believe people are going to buy straight away. without being too interesting. Because what if that thing sits there? Then they've got to repot it into something bigger, or they've got to just discount it, and they don't want to have to do that. Online nurseries, on the other hand, are able to market to an entire nation. And so they're able to carry things that are much less common, and so things that aren't as easy to find at your local nursery are often available online. Like this raspberry shortcake. It's a dwarf raspberry plant that I got from plantingtree.com. And this is gonna go perfectly in one of our container barrels. Now the raspberries that we find around here, if we can find them, are usually the thorny variety, the standard raspberries, and not this interesting small hybrid it's a natural dwarf, it's a hybridized dwarf. Thornless, totally thornless. And so being able to go online will give you access to so many more plants than you would otherwise have access to. Now, I've ordered 2 different types of plants over the internet and had them shipped. Usually I'm the guy who just walks in and buys something, but I was able to buy an ever-bearing mulberry, which is doing fantastic. It got sent in a tiny little 2-inch pot as almost like a little just clipping, and that's grown into something that we've been able to plant in its eventual space. It's now about this big. And this raspberry, which I'm really excited about. Now, I know if you're like me, you are a little reluctant to buy maybe something that's living online, and I want to talk through some of the pros and cons of this particular thing. When you buy a raspberry plant, or any kind of plant online, you have no idea what that plant is going to look like until it appears. It shows up, and you just hope for the best, that whatever plant they send you is going to be in line with your planting style or your pruning style or whatever it is. And so in this case, this plant looks like it's in really good shape. Just needs to be watered a little bit and planted. The branches will be teased out a little, but this is gonna do really well. It's alive, it's thriving, and it's kind of amazing to get something live in the mail like that. Something I've found with online nurseries is that they wanna make sure that you are satisfied. They don't want shipments coming back to them. They wanna make sure that whatever plant you get is healthy, alive, well packaged, so that way you get something that you can feel excited about and spread the word. They need to go above and beyond to give you a high level of confidence. Something like Zappos did. Zappos, where you buy shoes, they wanted to make sure that somebody getting shoes at home had a high degree of confidence that they were getting a quality product. And so usually you'll see the customer service be top notch, and I found that to be true with Planting Tree. Another thing that I really appreciate is the instruction that comes with these plants. Now, Planting Tree sent this information that says essentially when your plants arrive, unpack your new plants from their boxes right away. Done. If they appear wilted, give them a thorough watering. They'll bounce right back. Thank you. And shipping may cause some leaves to drop or branches to break. This is normal and will not affect the health of your new plants. And so this gives you some ideas of what to expect. It also gives you some outdoor planting directions, and that's not something you will often get at a local nursery. They may talk you through it, so they're a huge and amazing resource, but it's helpful to have a step-by-step guide in planting that is not only going to apply to this plant, but other ones. And I've kept some of these things that I've gotten over the years, directions, instructions, and information on different plants that we get. Talk through some of the pros of buying online. What are some of the cons of buying online? A major con is not being able to see it in person. And so not being able to choose the specific plant, if they've got an exact growth habit that you're looking for, you really don't have any way to compare it. And so you're trusting the person packing your plant to choose one that is healthy and looking good and is going to work well in your setting. So it's a little bit of the luck of the draw. Now, I've been happy both times. Again, these online merchants really want to make sure that you're happy with your purchase. And so they're going to take really good care of their plants before they send them to you. And they want to make sure that your plants get to you in a way that you feel really excited and enthusiastic about it. Another thing that is a little bit of a con is having to wait. One of the things you're going to have to do with an online ordered plant is you're going to have to wait. Whereas you walk into a local nursery and you just buy it and run home and hope that you have a place that it can go, you're going to have to wait a couple of days at least for something to make it to you through the mail. Now, that for me is offset by finding that exact plant that I'm looking for, and I kind of get excited. So even though I'm not able to be as impulsive as I am buying locally, I can then be looking forward to that exact type that I want to either pollinate one of my existing ones or be a cultivar that isn't found locally. So even though you have to wait, for me it's worth the trade-off because I'm getting the exact plant that I want. Okay, let me tell you about this little beauty right here. This is called Raspberry Shortcake, and I ordered this from plantingtree.com. I'll put a link in the description below. And this raspberry does away with a bunch of the things that are irritating about raspberries. This thing has no thorns, this thing doesn't need any type of trellising, and it's going to remain in a fairly compact habit. And so this is going to be perfect for my wine barrel here that's empty presently. And so I'm really looking forward to this. Now, the way this came was packaged beautifully. It lost some of its leaves. You probably see these trees behind me. We had a couple of days ago these 50, 60 mile an hour gusts that just blew leaves off of everything. And that's okay. I'm actually going to be cutting this down a little bit. No harm there, but very, very happy with this experience as well as the experience I had with my everbearing mulberry. I think I bought that on Etsy. Another pro in ordering your plants online is that you can have them shipped directly to your loved one as a gift. How cool is that? You're able to find something that works in their climate or whatever the deal is, and you can have it shipped directly to their house, intact, alive, and nothing spells love like P-L-A-N-T. I've had a great experience with ordering plants online. I want to hear, what are your planting experiences? Why don't you put those in the description below? I'd love to hear how things have turned out for you. I appreciate you tuning into this episode of the Busy Gardener channel. And whether you've got one plant that you're ordering online or 500, until next time, stay busy.